What do you want? Hi guys. Let's bring back to the stage the filmmakers Zeke and Simon Hawkins, and also also a new microphone. Hey, and also
Hello.
Justin Duprie, who's the producer of this movie, and Texan himself. So please welcome. So you guys are the first U.S. audience to see the film, correct?
Yes.
And you just applauded, made a bunch of noise, so it sounds like it went over pretty well in this room. I wanted to first open up with saying that you wanted to make this movie. I mean, you wanted to make a movie like this for a long time. I know that, and it was made in your hometown area.
Yeah.
So, what did you guys feel about working in the hostile zones of Texas?
It was just exciting to go somewhere that we didn't really know that well, which is South Texas, and the cotton farming communities there, and go do something that we didn't know much about and have fresh eyes.
I was going to ask, did you guys, when you first came into the project, were you aware that you're going to be, were you shooting out what time of year?
I think we shot for 4 weeks in March.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was like spring.
It looks really like just blazing, dusty.
Yeah, it's well down there. It's that time of the year down there. It's like flat as a tabletop farmland, and there's not a tree in sight. And that time of year, there's 0 crops in the field at that point. So yeah, that's kind of the aesthetic we were going for, kind of like a barren landscape that these kids couldn't escape.
Yeah, that sounded good.
All right. I'm going to ask if any of you guys want to raise your hand for a question. There's one right there.
How'd you find the actor?
We had the 3 leads we cast out of LA. We had a long audition process. We had 2 casting directors, Angel Dima and Barbara McCarthy, who were both great, and we just saw lots and lots of people. And then Mark Pellegrino, I'd worked with him. I was an assistant on the movie Capote, and he was in Capote in a small part, so I'd known him from that. And so he was always on our mind for GIF. And then John Grice was a friend of our other producer, Brian Udovich. They had worked on a movie before together. And Bill Devane was really, we had no connection to him or anything. It was really Simon just saying, we have to get Bill Devane in our movie. And so we wrote him like a letter. We put together, that scene we had shot back in LA after we shot everything in Texas. And so like we put together scenes for him. We had the script. We put together a whole package, and luckily it worked out.
I'm very passionate about doing the game.
Who here has seen Rolling Thunder? So I wouldn't.
Yeah, we actually, these guys, I was going back and forth with Bill's manager for like 2 weeks, just trying to coordinate getting him down. He lives in Palm Springs, which is like a 2-hour drive from LA, and his manager was like, he's totally low maintenance, like he doesn't even need, don't put him up in anything nice, just put him up in a Motel 6 or something. I was like, well, screw that, this is William Devane. We're gonna put him up in like a really nice hotel downtown. We just have him for 1 day. He's there for 1 night, and so we put him up somewhere nice, and he shows up and he checks into the hotel and he gets to set. He's like, who the hell put me up in this 5-star luxury hotel? Like, this is a low budget shoot, god damn it. You should be spending money on this hotel room. And it's pretty funny. But overall, I mean, he was really nice on set. It's awesome dude to work with.
Let's get another question, and I have to, for the sake of the other theater who's here in the Q&A, I have to repeat the question once you asked it. I'll be quick about it. I think I saw another hand go up at one point, but if not, I'm going to continue with another question. So you grew up in this area, so you had to kind of inform these guys kind of about the culture, I assume, to make it as authentic as possible. So what was that process like for you guys to absorb what it was like in that part of Texas?
I mean, we just had Justin with us at all times, and like literally asking 1,000 questions a day. You know, like
true?
we're in the like where Sue works, and we're just like, Justin, like, what does someone do here? You know, like, and that was true for everything. Like, just making everything look authentic. It was just Justin was on set at all times to say, this is how someone would actually do such and such. You know.
And is there a feeling that there might actually be like this kind of seedy rural crime ring underworld that is going on back there? I mean,
Well, we should ask Joel, where Gift live. That's Joel's farm, who's here, and so we should just find out if this kind of stuff is actually going on there. I don't know. Maybe it's possible. I mean, the world was like it's stylized, but the world's real to a degree. You know, like this is all real locations. We weren't changing anything. So that's really, I mean, Joel could tell us.
is there truly a brutal Texan murderous crime ring at large that we need to worry about?
Only in Austin.
Actually, I would like to say one thing about Joel's place. So Joel provided a couple locations, and one of them was Gifts where Ernesto got shot and hit that whole spread. And we went in there to sort of scout everything and figure everything out, and we found that Joel only had in Gift's office he only had one set of DVDs, which was like 50 DVDs, and it was just the entire series of Murder, She Wrote.
Is that true?
Not exactly.
It's 100% true.
Big Angela Lansbury fan.
Everything I know about Texas murder I learned from Jessica Fletcher. All right, do we have another question here? Yes.
What's the distribution look like here in the U.S.?
Is it going to be distributed, or do you guys have a plan yet?
Justin?
That's Justin.
We have to talk to our rep, Josh Braun. Yeah, we've got some interesting stuff that's come in from the last week. We just played at TIFF. We played 3 sold-out screenings, and we're getting some good reviews out there. So we'll see.
Are you interested?
Oh yeah.
Okay, great. There's another hand up there.
Oh, I was just going to follow up on the Corpus Christi thing. If it came from Justin, I grew up down there, and a lot of people don't know Whataburger started in Corpus Christi, and there's like one per person in the city. And your important things in your life happened in a Whataburger. Was that from you, or was that from just you guys being down there and seeing 38,000 of them?
Before you answer, this gentleman just asked about the importance of Whataburger in that local community, and how their Whataburger is such an incredible force in the Corpus Christi area.
I think originally in the script that Dutch wrote, it was a Dairy Queen, which I think are still, those Dairy Queens are in the South, but we got down there and we wanted, something authentic to the area, which was Whataburger. In Texas, there's Whataburgers on every block, so we changed it to Whataburger.
We were eating, that was the only place that was open late night, so we were eating there, so we needed a Whataburger.
Certain parts of Texas, they pronounce it Waterburger. Have you ever noticed that? No. All right, right here. Dude.
The second John Grease movie I can think of.
Oh, it's sorry, I was thinking.
This is the second movie I can think of starring as a supporting actor, obviously John Grease, in which there seemed to be present-day environment but no cell phones. I was wondering if the film was to be out of place in time or if that was just deliberate.
In our mind, the movie took place in the late 90s. Just for that exact purpose, no laptops, no cell phones. We were, I said this, we experimented with 50 different titles for the movie, and one of them was the year the Marlins won the World Series. Whatever year that was what we were thinking.
Terrible.
Is there, I'm sorry, it's hard for me to see. Is there another hand up there? I want to mention, he just brought up that John Grimes is in the movie, and that guy, a lot of you guys wouldn't recognize him, but he played the sheriff in the film. He's been this great character actor that's been around since the 70s, but he was, he was Uncle Rico, Napoleon Dynamite, he's in all these great things, but he loves coming back to Texas, and he loves doing work on independent films, and even though he'll be on Wasp simultaneously, he'll do a $10,000 short in Texas. He loves doing stuff. So you guys had him out for a short time, but what was it like having him? Because he's been probably in more Fantastic Fest movies than any other single actor. I think that's true.
I mean, we only worked with him for one day, but he was super nice and super positive and super enthusiastic, whatever you can expect from, ask for from an actor like that, It was great.
I'm sorry, I didn't ask. That question didn't have any dirt for you to sling out. Do we have any more coming up back there? There you go.
Can you guys talk about your collaboration as brothers on set and how you divvied up the responsibilities?
Well, we had excellent collaboration with our assistant editor, I know that.
So the assistant editor of the film just asked a question about the film, which was, and it may be a question they've never been asked before, but it's a question, what was it like for you two to collaborate as brothers
working on a film, and how does the creative split work?
I feel like Luke should actually answer that question. Personally, you saw it in action. In actuality, we basically, like maybe the first hour, the first day, we kind of tried to do different stuff, and like one of us would stay, like watch monitor, and the other would be on set, and then we would like talk, but we kind of threw that all out the window, and we really just talk after every take, and like walk away from everybody else and have our own sort of thing, and then go back and spread up the work, but there's no real like clear delineation for anything.
Yeah, it's pretty organic. I mean, we've been making stuff together since we were teenagers, so it all makes sense. Like, even though it sounds weird to other people, it makes sense to us.
So the town that you were shooting most of that stuff in, it wasn't Corpus Christi proper. It was, what was the name of the town?
The bar was Corpus, and then like
Taft and Portland,
Yeah.
predominantly.
So when you're shooting in a town like that, I mean, people are going to be aware that there's this production happening, as opposed to if you're shooting in Austin where people are like, oh, okay, I've seen a grip truck before or whatever. So did you have people that were kind of gathering around and maybe like looking in windows and just really excited about the production?
I think the biggest thing was because towards the end of the shoot, we started going into nights, and all my friends still live down there, and I go visit them every once. But they would, it'd be like 2 in the morning, and they would show up after the bars, like drunk, hammered, just coming on the set. Hey, what are you guys doing? And like
Holding a Sonic cup with like who knows what.
like our
No, and it would literally be like, all right, and wait, I can't say action because I just saw 2 of Justin's friends running through the gym drunk.
Did that actually happen once?
Yes.
Multiple times. All right, do we have any, another question, or there's one?
The script was great. What is the connection to it? I mean, who knew the screenwriter? Where did it come from? How did you find the story?
He's asking how the great script got into everyone's hands to make the film.
Well, I'm from down there. My business partner Brian Udovich, who couldn't be here tonight because he's having a baby any second now, and he wishes he could be here, but he's been coming down there every year. I throw a chili fest with Joel. We throw this like 800-person chili fest on his branch, and Brian comes down every year, and he's like, and I gave him a tour of the whole area. This is our farms. This is my friend's farm. Here's a bar, and he was like, dude, we should shoot something down here, and we were talking about. We got back to LA, and we were talking about the cotton gin, and we should write a script or have some kind of film that takes place in these locations that we have access to, for free, pretty much. And so we had actually Dutch just came into the office one day, and he was like, hey, what are you guys working on? And we told him, we got this kind of broad idea of something that we want to do down there. I lost track of the question. What did you?
Our producer Brian and the writer Dutch are friends for a long time, so they pitched it to him, and Dutch came back to something really cool.
Yeah, like in the next week, Dutch was like, dude, I'm totally stoked about what you guys told me. Like, came back with the first act, which blew us away. And he was like, I'd be honored to write the rest of it. We were like, cool. So he wrote it and turned into something really awesome, and here we are.
I want to throw in, as we're wrapping up, I wanted to say that there's a lot of times that you see, you see filmmakers who are huge fans of movies, and that's what drives them to want to create movies. But you almost, I hate to say this, but you almost never see Hollywood-based U.S. production companies that are doing their work because they are such huge fans of film. And I know you personally, and I know that you guys really, really do love movies. So I wanted to point out that there's still a little bit of hope in Hollywood, where there are a few people that love films that want to make them and back them.
I want to say thanks to, I've been coming to this fest for 6 years. The first year I came here, I was like, how fucking cool would it be to have a movie play at the Alamo Draft House at Fantastic Fest? And I want to thank you and Tim and the rest of Fantastic Fest and the Alamo Draft House for allowing us to screen here. It means the world to me and to us. Like, this is awesome.
Thank you guys. Thank you all so much.